Hey, it's Kimberlee and welcome back to my channel. I make videos on all things lifestyle on a budget, and I was super excited to unbox my new Sony ZV-E10 camera, and I wanted to take you along on the journey, but here's what you're about to see. I'm opening a camera that I just got from Best Buy and slowly realizing that clearly this camera has been used. If you'll notice right now, you'll see that the strap was already attached. You'll also notice that the little white bags are completely empty and then the plug is already attached, whereas usually it would come wrapped up in like a twist tie or something. So this is where I started to realize something is wrong here. I purchased this camera the night before at Best Buy and did an in-store pickup the very next day. And here's me unboxing the camera. I mean, it looked good to me, although again the strap was already attached. It didn't have any major signs of wear and tear, but the display screen was already faced towards me, which I feel like that's usually not the case. But the biggest kicker was that the battery was already in the camera. The final straw was when I turned on the camera and everything was already set up. It wasn't asking me about language setup or time. Everything was set, so I knew I had to go back to Best Buy. I explained my situation, mentioned I did have video recording of it. I didn't have to actually show it, but they switched out the cameras for me. Okay, I'm officially doing voiceover for this because aesthetic doesn't seem to work in my favor. It's gonna open the same way, which is that it's pretty much already opened, interestingly enough. But this time, and they opened the box in the store to show me. I've got my instructions. All the same instructions and information here. And then when you open it, this is what it's supposed to look like. So everything's supposed to be wrapped up. Once again, this is that wind thing and it came in its little pouch. This is supposed to be by itself and I'm supposed to have my own journey of struggling to put this on. I'm assuming this is the battery. Yes, this is the plug and see how it's separated. And here is what connects it. Seeing how this was wrapped up now, I'm like, what the heck did that other person do? That was clearly a used camera and no one told me. And then this is what the camera is supposed to come like. So it does already come with the lens attached. So that's not, anything out of the ordinary. Here's the top. This is the speaker. This is where the wind thing is gonna go. You got your on-off switch. This is your different modes from camera to movie to S&O. This is how you start shooting for your movie. This is the zoom as well as the shutter. And then this is like to blur the background or something like that, I believe. Lens cap is on. Lens cap is off. As you can see as well, the screen was not turned around. So here we go. And then it's gonna be this way. And this is how I remember getting it in that camera. This is all empty. Memory card snaps in. Now it's good to go. On this side is all your connectors. This is how you're gonna charge up your camera because it's rechargeable. With this plug, I'm gonna connect that. The only thing that kind of stinks is that you have to charge the whole thing. You can't just take out the battery. My other one, you could just take out the battery, which was convenient, so you don't have to put your camera in awkward spots while you charge it, but it is what it is. You got your headphone jack, and then you have another connector there. This is where the mic connector is gonna go inside here. Close that up. And yeah, on the other side, it's just how you're gonna grip the camera. So this is what it's supposed to look like, and that is not what I experienced the very first time. I'm just gonna turn it on. And yes, oh my gosh, even more so now. This helps you set up the language and everything, and I didn't have that before. I had no idea like that is what I needed to look for, but now you know, and this is how you can tell if your camera is new or it's already been set up. Why am I on the old camera? Boo, what is this? I just want to be able to show you the camera like in my hand so you can see it and I can compare it real quick and then I'll switch over. Quite the journey, right? Like what the heck is going on? This is what it looks like. I have tested it out. You zoom in, you zoom out. I can do photo and movie. Very, very cool. And then also it can easily be a stand. So that is awesome. It swivels, it rolls back and forth, etc., etc. Clearly, here we go. It's decently light. I wouldn't say it's like the lightest thing ever, but I love that the lens came on. That's awesome. This lens is 16-50mm. It's the kit lens. I really like it. It's already snapped into place. The great thing about this camera is that you can switch out the lenses, which is awesome. One thing that you're not gonna see on here is a flash. There is no flash on here. If I take this little thing off, there is a space to put an attachment. So that's what I would do. Something that I am gonna test out is adding a mic. I'm gonna do some voice recording without it and then add it in because there is a headphone jack, and again take this off and put the thing on here. So it's a very simple camera setup. You saw the top, there's not much to it. There are a lot of settings within it, so I would say it's simple on the exterior, but there's a lot going on inside, so I'll definitely have to get adjusted to that. In comparison, this is what my Panasonic Lumix G7 looks like. I'm gonna do a completely separate video on this, kind of giving it its beautiful farewell address, talking about the pros and cons, so stick around for that if you're curious, but I just wanted to show you in real time what the difference and how much heftier this one is. Here we are on the Sony ZV-E10. I'm super excited. I've got a red light to tell me that we are rolling. I've got a red square in my viewfinder. I can finally see again what I'm filming instead of putting a mirror behind my camera. What an upgrade. Pretty much everything right now is just on auto. One thing I do want to try out right now is this little setting right here that's supposed to make the background blurry. All right, so that should be without, and this is with. I believe that's correct. I can see that it is trying to do the intelligent autofocus based on my right eye. That is one of the options. Got the red light right here. Here are all the really incredible, helpful settings. So I said the volume is right there, the recording. You can see on the bottom left-hand corner, I took off the, what do you call it? Soft focus for my skin for filtering. I don't really want that. But you can see it's recording. We are 2 minutes and 54 seconds in right now. Tons of settings. You can customize this for yourself, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. I've got my little portable light right there. I want to test the mic real quick just to see, so pause. I got this on Amazon. I love this on the Panasonic. It looks like I only have one spot for where I can put this, so I have to take out that little wind thing and then try again. Okay, we have now added in the microphone, and this is me testing it out to see how it sounds. Hopefully it sounds better. Maybe if there's no change, I don't need it. I'm not quite sure. So I am just going to use this as a moment to test it, and y'all can let me know. I wonder if it's picking up the loud traffic that's going by. So this is my little test, and now we're gonna peace out. I just gotta say, wow, my skin looks really good on here. And this is, again, with just the basics of lighting. So the camera's still in the same spot. I just wanted to show you how far the zoom could go. So that's zoomed in. This is zooming all the way out. I'll have to work on that and being a little smooth, but that's just really pretty over there. So I just wanted to get that in. I got mine from Best Buy. You can get it on Amazon. I'll have links to both down below. It cost a pretty penny in my eyes, but it was kind of like the best deal that I could get, where I could get something else with it. Plus taxes, all that good stuff. So it came out as just under $1,000. And that is why I had to wait a bit, because that's a lot to set aside. But it was necessary, and I think we can all agree that I'm feeling pretty great about it. For the ability to change the different lenses, I see this as easily an option for having like a long-term camera. So I like that it can just autofocus back and forth. Let's do that again so you can see how fast it is, because previously when my camera was broken, I had to stop and start the camera. So grab some things and just see like how quickly it finds me, as well as the lighting. You can see how the lighting is changing. So Vita Coco, and now we're back to me. Let's see if there's some text. If I hold this up, how quickly it zooms in. I love this quote. And then back to my face. So I really like how quickly we get into that autofocus. It's gonna be great for when you're filming things close up, filming products. Now onto some cons, I guess you'd say, or things that I'm kind of already noticing that I don't love, and it's more so in comparison to what I'm used to. Screen is not touchscreen. I'm used to that, but then my touchscreen stopped working, so then I had to just use all the features on the camera. So I think that I keep accidentally like touching the screen thinking that I can actually do stuff, but no, you have to use the controls that are on there. The lack of flash, how is that going to affect me? We will find out. Actually, I don't even think this didn't have a flash either, so it's not really gonna affect me much. I just realized that. Another thing is I have to figure this out myself, but I went to look through all the audio settings, and there's like a little bit of a sound when you start and stop the camera. I don't need to hear that, so I wanna figure out how to turn it off. I haven't found that setting, so if you already have this camera, definitely comment that down below. Biggest thing that I find to be kind of an annoyance, or I'm just not used to it, is that previously when I had to charge my camera's battery, I took the battery out, put it in a separate battery charger that went into the wall. With this camera, you have the battery and it goes into the camera, and then you have this plug that plugs into the camera, and then you plug this into the wall. So the entire camera unit has to go to an outlet. I don't really like that. I feel like that's kind of weird, especially with some of my outlets being lower to the floor. At least luckily I have this, but when I first had the camera and it wasn't set up, my camera was just sitting on the floor. Because, hello, can you see how long this plug is? I'll sit down a little. This is not long at all. This is like, it's not even an arm's length because my hand is over here. So I don't love that. You just have to, I mean, I just don't want my new camera on the floor. We'll see how long this takes to go out. Right now, it says it has 2 hours and 9 minutes left of filming. I will not be taking that long, but this is really good to know. I'm glad I got this kit because it also came with a 64 gig memory card, which is great. So I just pressed movie on the little hand device, and so now I'm starting. This is definitely like a little bit heavy, I will say. It's something you can definitely get used to, but just keeping that in mind that the camera's not that light. It can swivel back and forth, which is nice. It can turn left and right, and then it locks into place. And yeah, so I could just be wherever I am. This is my apartment. The lighting is obviously gonna look, oh, it kind of adjusts though. It's kind of adjusting. There's junk everywhere. I'm just gonna keep showing you my plants, I guess. But if I wanted to switch it around and just have a little handheld action, this is really nice for being able to just hold on to this instead of gripping the camera. And then once again, the zoom works just as well. Although you can see the zoom is a little jumpy. Like I can't really calmly zoom out. It just kind of like boop, boop, boop. Yeah, there's not really like a candle that I have. And now we're zoomed out. And how much the background will blur when I do have something in the foreground. So you can see a little example of that. This is a fake flower and I'm super zoomed in and it's found it. And you can see the detail when I go away. Okay, so just for fun, the camera is now sitting on the table. So I have the little stand like splayed out. So obviously it's gonna be angled a little lower, but this is where we are right now. Video quality is back on. I'm very, very happy with this camera for the couple of days that I've had it so far. It's less than a week, especially considering I had to go and return that other camera and get a new one. I'm really glad I did because again, I had no idea what would have come if I just kept that camera, especially now seeing all the differences of blurred screen and all of that was going on that I just wasn't aware of because I didn't have that camera before. I'll insert some photos here and there so you can see, and I'm gonna continue playing around with it. So this was just my unboxing experience, getting used to this new camera, and you'll see over time what fun things are to come with it. The battery thing is my only major complaint of just how you charge the camera. That's the only thing that got me, but I am very happy with it. Let's have a conversation down below. Are you in the market for the Sony ZV-E10? Let me know your thoughts. What are you on the fence about? So I was looking at many other cameras, Canon Mark III, whatever you want to call it. The Sony Alpha series, whew, gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh my gosh, the 6000. There were a couple others that I was looking at, but again, what is it going to come down to? Budget. I almost did the simple, what is it, ZV-1 or ZV-F, so many different types, but I decided on this one and I'm very happy. Wait for a sale. If you got it, go for it. But Memorial Day is just around the corner. Be a great time to hop in on those deals and get you a new camera. Any specific questions, I would be happy to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I will suggest using good old YouTube. Be sure to stay tuned for my next video in which I will be sharing my comparisons between the Panasonic Lumix G7 and this one, the Sony ZV-E10. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.